Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Noob to Pro. Now in this episode we are going to be going for Giselle through the love shop and the love portals, so they will be going away in update 5. Other things that will be going away in update 5, the current battle pass will be going away. I believe Ishtar and Gilgamesh will be going away, so I highly recommend going for those units if you have not gotten them yet. Another thing that we'll be doing is we'll be farming rifts. Now if you've seen my recent video that I just did, I actually have started doing rifts. I'm not going to show you like process of me completing the rifts, as I do have a separate video for that, but I will be grinding this up. I don't know if I'll be getting yhwach in this episode. I do want to get them eventually. I also want to get some good Gon and Pachuru familiars. Both of them will be really good for the account, especially Gon ignoring damage reduction, and then Pachuru just being a great damage increase familiar. Now I also do want to go for the trait rerolls, of course, always trying to go for trait rerolls. Even if I'm not rolling trait rerolls myself, I do of course want to still go for them. I'm currently at 1200 trait rerolls, 1204, so we're going good and steady with the amount of trait rerolls we are obtaining. I do want to start running infinites again. It's been a little while I've done infinites, but with Sungjin Woo I have gotten my highest infinite round being 113, which is really cool. If we go check, I've gotten to wave 112 on Spirit Society and wave 112 on the Underground Church as well. Now both of these, the Spirit Society I actually did solo by myself, but the Underground Church I also wanted to farm infinite on my main account, so I just chucked up both of them into the stage and essentially just got the exact same as if I did Spirit Society solo. So there is that. Probably won't show too much of it as it is kind of tedious. If I do decide to do an infinite run, I'll show me getting to the highest wave solo on either Spirit Society, or I could try Underground Church again. I would like to start working on getting the enemy indexes done as well. This is just another thing so we can get extra trait rerolls here. Depending on how everything goes, I'm probably going to start farming for Yamamoto, as it is a bit overdue on me trying to go for him, so I should really get on to getting him. Luckily he's not a limited unit, so it would just take time to get him. Now, as you can see, I only need to get myself 75,000 more chocolates to actually pick up Giselle herself. I don't know if I really do want to go for the other things, because this is just a kind of a boring grind. Of course it depends definitely on how I feel. On my main account I do want to try to get a fully ascended one, just because it's more or less just for a completionist type thing, and I do like to try to collect everything as much as possible when it comes to my main account, so we'll have to see. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into starting to grind love portals. So yeah, this grind is just going to take a while. There is nothing really to show off outside of these portals, not really any interesting drops, just being the Evo materials and the chocolate themselves. So I will be back when I have gotten enough chocolates to buy Giselle. I have done some grinding. I am at 100k chocolates now. I'm going to take a little break from doing love portal grinds right now, because it is just kind of painful grind, I guess, in a way. This amount of chocolates I've gotten is around 40 portals I've done. I have a lot of portals just in my inventory now. I was farming the Underground Church portals. I just liked them the most out of all the ones that we could do, even though there's Planet Namek. It was just the bosses on the Planet Namek one are kind of annoying, so yeah, I was doing Underground Church. I think the Spirit Society one isn't too bad either, or the double dungeon. The double dungeon I think might be the easiest to do, just because of the bosses alone. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a Giselle now, since we have enough to get her. Boom, there we go. We have obtained a Giselle. We have 2,000 chocolates left, so let's claim 2 trait rerolls if I'm able to. There we go. 2 out of the 100 I'm wanting. All right, now that we have Giselle, let's go and check to see what she needs to be evolved. I need to get blue essences and purple essences, and then I still need to get takedowns on her. She's a good support unit for summons, as she can buff summon HP. She's not really good damage wise. I don't know if I'll get good stats on her. Maybe I'll try to get a good SPA, just because of her first passive. She revives all enemies killed every 5 attacks she deals, so you'd want to get a quick SPA on her, but other than that she isn't exactly needed too much. And then on her second passive down here, you can see this is where she is the support. Buffs any summon's max HP by 1% for every summon on the track, up to 50%. So this is just really good. I don't even think I'll even level her up. She's just going to be here purely as a support. One quick infinite later and I've gotten the takedowns for Giselle. Let's go ahead and roll her once. This range is completely fine. I do have a Z SPA I can put on her, so I will go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and evolve her. Here we go. Giselle Zombie. Have everything. So that pretty much is Giselle completed. I'm not going to level her up because all I need her to have is low SPA, so I've given her Z plus stats. So next up is to go for yhwach. Now it's either I get him just while getting up to 500 rift shards, or once I get 500 rift shards I'll buy the Val Stone and get yhwach guaranteed. Of course I also want to get some Gons and Patcheroos. That will just be a thing that I'll do over time, because now that I'm able to do rifts consistently on this account with my main account, I'm probably going to do rifts every single time I can, because I also want to get more familiars on my main. So that is one other thing. Now while waiting for rifts, I'm actually deciding that I'm going to go and start grinding for Yamamoto. I'm essentially turning this episode into completing the Bleach update. Will I go for the last two mythics, Yoruichi and Uryu? Maybe I will. They both are part of the same legend stage, so it wouldn't take too long to get these two Evo materials as well. It's just more or less going for the essence stones. This will probably be something I'll go for if I somehow got in Yamamoto early and still don't have yhwach. That is what will be the least priority, is going for Uryu and Yoruichi. I'll eventually get them done, but it might not be in a video. It'll just be for something later on. Of course, I still want to go and do the love shop. I'm just taking a little break from it. I'm not planning on getting more Giselles. It's more or less going for the trait rerolls. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and start grinding for yhwach and Yamamoto. Now I'm probably just going to have a montage of me completing rifts, unless I do get Yamamoto first before getting yhwach. So let's go ahead and start the grind. We finally have attained Yamamoto. Now it's in low quality mode because I was just AFK kind of farming it on the side of my second monitor while playing other games, because, you know, taking a little while and I kind of just want to mindlessly farm this. So let's go ahead and check out his evolution materials I need for him. I don't have many medallions because I used them yesterday and I was not expecting to get it so soon. This has taken a couple days because I haven't been going at it too hard, plus I'm only able to really play when I'm on the computer myself, so that is another thing. Last thing I need to do is go ahead and get yhwach himself, so I just need to basically wait for the rifts to come along. Not much else to that. So what I'll probably do while waiting for that is do Legend Stage Act 1, so I can go ahead and go and evolve Uryu and Yoruichi as well. So all I need to get left is 30 red essence stones and get some green essence stones. I did convert like all of my essence stones recently, so that is not too bad to get. Let me see if I have any. I should have stats to transfer to the Yamamoto as well. All right, here's the double Z stat from Kampachi. Put that onto Yamamoto. And then I have an Aizen with a Z range. Go ahead and slap that onto Yamamoto as well. I should have everything to evolve Yamamoto now. All I need left is to go and get his takedowns. So I will be back when I have that done. Before I go ahead and actually go do that, I'll show you how many legend stages it took. It didn't take a whole lot. It did take a little while, but it wasn't crazy amount. 59 clears. I've seen people that have gone way unlucky. I'll say this is fairly lucky to get. It just took a while, of course. All right, so I'm wanting to complete the video today. Oh, a rift's open. Perfect. All I need to do now is go for yhwach. I also need to evolve the others, but that is kind of easy. What I want to do though is to go for yhwach before tonight, because I am going to be watching the Minecraft movie tonight. I just want to complete the video today. Now, if I don't get yhwach before 8 o'clock, which is in like 4 hours, I'm just gonna have to sug it out and complete it afterwards. I come back from the movies. If I get it before, I'll try to edit it before going to the movies and then posting it. Or the other thing is I end up getting yhwach, but I don't have enough time to edit. So once I come back, I'll edit it and then I'll go to bed. There's those options. I'm not taking anything else. yhwach is being achieved tonight at all costs. Now I need to go ahead and change out my team. Yeah, I will be back very soon. I'll be going over and evolving all the units, but then after that I'll be back with yhwach or getting the Valstone, whichever one comes first. Simply something to talk about while I go and evolve the units that I have gotten so far. I will probably begin to grind for Ragnar. Now I don't really want this to be much of an active grind on the videos per se, but what I will do is I will not summon any presents at all. Usually after AFKing for like a day I'll summon on the presence, but I probably won't be in the AFK chamber. You can kind of see the progression or how many portals I have done through just like keeping a count on my presence. So this will go up whenever I actually feel like doing portals, and I will show off Ragnar once I do get him. He won't be the craziest unit that I'll have acquired because I don't exactly have too many buffers. I wanted to quickly check at the trait rerolls. They haven't really been touched too much. I have not really increased any trait rerolls because I have just been grinding legend stages and the rift haven't gone out my way. I completely missed out on last week's boss events. I have not been doing boss bounties either, even though I said do your boss bounties weekly. So yeah, I'm very underprepared for the new update that is most likely going to come out this weekend, but it is what it is. I am just trying to finish off the rest of Bleach update. Basically, I literally only have Uryu, Yoruichi, Yamamoto, and yhwach to gain and evolve, and once I have got all of them, that is it for this update. Like the Bleach update, I've done all the units, which is pretty nice. So I do have every unit ready to be evolved. Now I don't know if I'll have all of the essences, so first off, let's go for Yamamoto. I'll have him all Z stats. I have everything for him already, have all the takedowns. Let's go ahead and evolve Yamamoto. There we go, pretty nice. Probably chuck him in my team when it comes to using him in the rifts as well, because he is pretty good for that. Now need to go and work on getting more essences, but let's scavenge what I have to see what I need. I just need green essences for Uryu. Alright, actually before I dismantle, I do have the gold merchant I can buy things from, so let me clear out this real quick. Also, realistically, I don't think I'm gonna have yhwach before I have to leave to go to the movies. Definitely will be afterwards. I will try to grind it out as much as possible before then, but if not, I will go and complete it after coming back from the movies because I do really want to get it done today, or even if it's not today, like early morning tomorrow. Here we go, we have Uryu evolved as well. He is a very nice unit. Honestly, I think he is a very cool unit too. Probably one of my favorite units from the Bleach update, even though he isn't like the craziest. He is very unique in the sense of what he does, and under certain circumstances he can be a very powerful unit. And last but not least for now is Yoruichi. Where is she? There we go. I just need red essences and green essences. That is fine. I'll just dismantle more rainbow essence stones. So there we go, we have evolved all the rest of the Bleach units besides yhwach currently. The last unit I need to get before we have every single Bleach unit from update 4 completed. So that is pretty nice to see that I have actually gone out my way and gotten every single unit. It just took like 3 videos total to do it, which is fine. Plus I had a couple videos in between. Now while I wait for these rifts to come back, I will definitely be grinding the boss event now. I should have done it last week, but I just was not doing it at all. It is Saber, so it is a very nice boss rush to do. I really want to get all this gold. I'll try to get all the essences if I can, and also these trait rerolls. One last thing to talk about before grinding. I know that I could have gone through rifts with more than 2 people and gotten an MVP bonus, but personally I'd rather just do it by myself instead of going and finding people. Or I mean, it's not too hard to find people in a lobby, but I can't always guarantee that I'll get MVP that way. All right, I have done my basically final rift before getting the Valstone. I got exactly 50 shards, which is amazing because this is what I needed exactly to be able to buy the Valstone, as I only have 502 rift shards total. So the next rift that comes around, I will have yhwach. I just need to buy the Valstone, so let's go ahead and do that. Now this is the next day. I really wanted to get this video done last night, but just the rifts were not doing good at all. 2 rifts in a row, it got down to basically the couple minutes the task completed, which then bugs it because it's like already nearly about to spawn and it resets it. So that happened twice. It was 3 in the morning. I was just giving up at that point. I thought I'll just complete it when I get up today. Just need to do 1 more left. Let's go ahead and get the Valstone unlocked. There we go. Now I won't use it right now. I'll wait till the rift comes up, but I have been doing more infinites. I have a decent amount of food. Maybe if this rift bugs again, it'll be pretty sad, but I'll probably farm out more infinites and maybe I'll get both Uryu and Yoruichi to level 60 as well. I haven't actually gone ahead and done that yet. Maybe I'll actually commit to getting one of them to 60 right now. Let me go ahead and buy food. since the daily reset did happen. I've been on for a while today and I've only done 2 rifts because there's also been another bugged rift today, which is very fun. It is very great to happen, you know, just what you want. Nothing really I can do. If this rift spawns really fast, I actually wouldn't even be able to do it as well. That's the other thing that sucks. So I think I need it to be at least an hour after the rift I've just done. So hopefully these 2 other tasks don't really get completed anytime soon. It looks like people are doing the summon one, but the XP one looks bugged, so people are probably not doing that one. But yeah, I will be back when I have done my next rift. Alright, so this is the final rift that I'll need to do to get yhwach. I have popped the Valstone. I went and edited the video basically, so all I need to do is record this, edit it, and then also have the showcase done. Honestly, this was a bit of a pain of an episode to edit. I don't know what I was doing in previous recordings, but I just kept pausing and just could not say my words properly. This is a bit of a scuffed video, but I'm getting it done and out of the way now. Alright, I will be right back when this rift is completed. Alright, there we go. There is yhwach attained. This is very nice to see. Ooh, it took a while, but got it done in the end. Now I can finally finish off this video. Before we go and end off this video, let's go and check out all the units that I have acquired this episode. Also, of course, still need to evolve the yhwach himself, so let's go ahead and do that. One infinite later, and also a little bit of challenges I did. I have got the kills required on yhwach now. Let me go ahead and get the last essences I need. I finally have everything I need for him. I'm just sticking with S's. I do kind of want to get him all Z+, but that'll be for another time. So this is what I'm going to stick with because I kind of just want to get the video out now. So let's go ahead and evolve him. There we go, the longest grind was getting yhwach himself. Maybe it would have been shorter if I kind of kept up to date with each of the rifts. That is that. I unlocked this on the 4th of April. There you go. Alright, so the last thing that I'm going to do before we end off this video is kind of just check out the units that I have acquired this episode. So we got 5 units this episode, which is actually quite a lot. Didn't really have any showing of Uryu and Yoruichi though, because it was kind of just a side thing while waiting for yhwach's rifts to appear. But that is that. 2 secrets, 3 more mythics on the account. That is pretty nice. Let's go ahead into sandbox and I'll showcase these units. Alright, the first unit that we'll be looking at is Giselle. Now, she isn't really got much of a damaging hit. She is mainly as a support, so going in on her upgrade, she gains extra like zombie allies with her. Now these count as separate units on the board, which is pretty cool. There is that. They tack on separate SPAs to Giselle and they use her attack stat to attack. So we won't really be looking at her DPS. Now let's go over her passive. Her passive, every 5 attacks she revives all enemies killed by any unit during this time span as an ally for 30% of the unit's damage up to 120 enemies per Giselle. She then gains for her second passive 2 zombie allies that she has right here on placement, or not on placement, but when you get to upgrade 4 and upgrade 8. And then her second part of the passive, buff any summon's max HP by 1% for every summon on the track up to 50%. This is really good for Sung Jinwoo and also Yamamoto and also Lilia, but I don't think Lilia gets used too much, but she is a pretty cool unit as well. The next unit we'll be looking at is Yoruichi. Now on placement, she costs 1,750. This I'll kind of go over the damage. So 1.7, it fluctuates because of her passive, and she is a 3 placement as well. She has some crazy attack animations, very flashy. It's kind of hard to see. So let's look at her passive. She gains SPA each attack, resetting every 3rd attack. All SPA buffs/debuffs will apply to the damage stat as well. So the lower SPA she gets, the more damage she gets, as you can see when I hover over her. Now one other thing, if I place down a Yoruichi over here, she has no buffs on her. If I place down a Saber that has the slowing aura around her, now she has reduced damage and increased SPA, so you want to make sure that she isn't getting any increased SPA, because then she will also be doing less damage. Second part of her passive, she gains a stun/debuff immunity. All attacks apply a stun for 2 seconds. If attacking a stunned enemy, removes the stun and deals 50% more damage to it, and reduces SPA by 30% for 10 seconds. This is pretty good early on because she actually has low enough SPA to proc it herself, but when you slowly upgrade her, her SPA actually goes too high for her to proc it herself, so it is best to use her as a multi-placement unit so they're all proccing off each other. Otherwise, you're missing out on a lot of of extra damage. So that is Yoruichi. She is a pretty cool unit. She has decent damage for her SPA and is very cheap as well. 3 placement, so that is good. Next on the list is Uryu. Now Uryu is a unique unit in the fact that he attacks outside of his own attack range. He can attack anywhere on the map, and then his second part of his passive is any status effect applied to this unit is reflected to the enemy instead, and then every negative debuff applied to him is flipped to a positive buff. Now there are 2 different ways you can play him. You either just place him anywhere on the map that will never touch attracts, like here for example, so he's always going to be firing off his attacks. Or the other way you play him is when you hover the unit, you can see his max range at his max upgrade. So let me go ahead and fully upgrade him. So now when you place him around here, he'll still be able to get attacked by enemies and also take debuffs that will turn into buffs for him, and also be able to reflect the status effects that happen to him. Now he is also a 4 placement, I forgot to mention that, and 1300 to place. And then there are things like, because negative debuffs turn into positive buffs, something like the Saber Slow 15% SPA instead of reduced SPA, which is nice. Okay, the first secret unit that we will be looking at is Yamamoto himself. He has a very unique AoE on placement. He has a small AoE into a cone. This is just pretty cool. It's kind of just something extra. It's not exactly the most reliable thing. As you can see, he actually hit that unit that was outside of his range. We'll first go over his passive. So he applies a burn on hit, and he gains 10 damage and 2 SPA every burning enemy within this unit's range, up to 30% and 10%. Now his second passive, every enemy this unit kills gets revived as a skeleton, with its health being 40% of this unit's attack stat. Damage dealt by these skeletons count as burn damage. For every skeleton alive on the track, increase damage by 2% up to 30%. Now Yamamoto is really good because at upgrade 3 he becomes a full AoE unit. This is probably one of the cheapest full AoE units in the game, alongside like Toji, Alucard. Sukin is pretty expensive for being a pretty low upgrade to get his full AoE, but here's that. You've got many options now for any cheap full AoEs. Oh, even David has a full AoE. Now at upgrade 7 he unlocks his third passive, which is North, or release, and also gains the ability North. Now North just means that all skeletons that are summoned on the map will completely stop. This just helps keep his second passive going, where he'll get the 30% increased damage. Now let's look at his third passive. Any enemy that walks into this unit's range is inflicted with burn every 15 seconds, and increases the damage of burn applied to the same enemy by this unit by 1% every time it is applied to the same enemy. So if you're able to keep enemies within his range for a very long time, you'll be able to constantly increase that burn damage, and it will just kind of scale really well. Enemies always burning as soon as they enter the unit's range is really nice, especially for units like Karim, who relies on enemies burning to get his full AoE going. Second to last upgrade, he gains full AoE again. So this is the first full AoE fire unit in the game outside of Jogo, who had his domain, which made him full AoE, but the domain did not last that long. So this is a pretty good unit, honestly. Very nice. Recommend getting him. It does take a little while because it is a legend stage unit. It is definitely worth the grind. Last unit that we will be looking at is yhwach. One thing I actually forgot to mention, 2500 to place Yamamoto, and he's a 3 placement. yhwach, he is a 3 placement as well at 1400 to place. Now let's go over his passives first. So he is immune to all status ailments, and he gets 5% increased damage for every status ailment avoided. When this unit attacks, it will do an additional attack at the last enemy in range at the same time. This only applies if the first and last enemy are different. So yhwach at max upgrade, he is a full AoE unit. Now with the second passive, this essentially means that he is dealing double damage because he's applying the full AoE attack twice whenever there's at least 2 enemies within his range. If there's only one single enemy, that means he's only attacking once. If there's 2 enemies within the range, he'll attack twice instead. So let me go ahead and fully upgrade him, because we only really care about his last upgrade basically. 30k max upgraded every 9 seconds, full AoE. Very nice unit, honestly, very cool. And the other thing that he gains on his last upgrade is he gains the Ash Fallen ability. Now this has 2 toggles, buffing all allies within the range by 15% damage, and he himself loses at 30% damage. So let me pop that. There are no units within the range, but as you can see, he has lost 30% damage, and then if I were to place a Yamamoto within the range, he'll gain that 15% damage. Now the second part of yhwach's ability, toggle 2, it debuffs all allied units within his range by 20% damage and 10% range. He also gains 10% damage and 5% range per allied unit debuff by this ability. So I'll go ahead and just kind of place down all my units, even the 2 extra yhwachs. Now I have one cool thing with all the Quincy units is they have their own little little synergies. So having Uryu within his range, because Uryu can't take any negative debuffs, he'll get that reduced technically, but they will turn into positive buffs. Now the other thing is Giselle. She is a 3 placement, but because of her zombie allies, she actually counts as 3 units in one. So technically Giselle is a 9 unit placement. So she is very, very good for yhwach with buffing him. So after I have placed everyone else, place down Saber as well. All right, let's go ahead and press the ability. Oh yeah, let's look at his damage first. So 20k damage every 9 seconds when he's buffing everyone around him. Now let me pop his ability. He's gone to 99.7k damage every 9 seconds with 95 range. Now this range can increase slightly more because of this last part of his passive. He gains range every time he uses the ability up to 20%, and I think I've only used it twice, so I can use it 2 more times to increase it. Let me just go ahead and do that real. There we go, 104 range. 100k damage every 9 seconds with the amount of range that he has is crazy, but you also got to remember, because of his second passive, he is applying this full AoE attack twice. So technically, every 9 seconds, he's dealing 200k damage, unless there is only a single unit within range, and the display damage is the only damage he's dealing every 9 seconds. This is an amazing unit. He is really cool. Another unit I just haven't really seen before, although if I have to be honest, I haven't really played many ATDs outside of like really early on ASTD. I didn't play any anime adventures, and this is basically the first real ATD I've played. I have been playing like the other ALS and Anime Reborn and stuff, but I don't really juice any videos on them just because I like check them out. I don't really play them too often. That is yhwach. That is the last unit that I'll be showcasing before ending off this video, which I'm gonna do right now. So I have every single unit from the Bleach update completed now. So what next? I have Ragnar left to do, and gonna grind some more love portals before that goes away for the next update, which I believe the next update should be this weekend. It is a Dragon Ball Buu Saga. I don't know exactly what units are going to be in it, but I am going to try go for all the units again. When the update releases, I won't be able to play straight away, but during that day of the release, I will try to release a video, maybe getting 1 or 2 units, or just kind of checking out the update itself. I also want to check out Odyssey, as that is a new game mode coming alongside update 5, so that would be great. All right, that is pretty much the video. I appreciate it if you've made it this far through the video. See ya.